So my parents' birthdays are only a month apart. And right before they turned 60, I set out to throw them a huge surprise 60th birthday party for both of them. My mother and father-in-law were kind enough to let me host it at their house. My siblings and I, we discussed and each took kind of parts of the party. We tried to invite as many of our parents' friends as we could sort of discover, as many as them that would come. We invited my dad's mom, my Oma, who was in her 90s and still living, to come join us for the party. We invited my parents' siblings that came from great distances to be there. Because of the layout of my in-laws' home, we knew that we had to create a great big story in order to maintain the surprise. Because as soon as you drove up the driveway, you'd know that there were hundreds of cars there and you'd see some decorations. So at the same time, my brother-in-law Joel was engaged. So what we decided to do is plan a fake bridal shower for my brother-in-law Joel that my parents would be invited to along with my other siblings. We even sent my parents a fake invitation in the mail and told them a later time than we told everyone else to come to the party. So all my parents' family and friends showed up at about 6 o'clock, and my parents came up at about 6:30. My sister had everyone go gather into the living room, and my parents, they walked up with this great big present for my brother-in-law, Joel, and his wife. And when they opened the door, they stood there for a while, really confused by the crowd that was gathered there. My dad looked at one of his golf buddies and say, "Oh, hey, Tom, how do you know Joel and Amelia?" And then my mom looked and she saw her sisters from across the room who had traveled far. And it was right then that they saw the sign that said, "Happy 60th, Kathy and Jim." And they figured out that it wasn't a bridal shower, that the party was actually for them, and it was awesome. It got to the point where my mom even handed my brother-in-law the present and said, "Well, this is going to be for you either way." My friends, there's nothing like a surprise. And the truth is that if you're like me and you call yourself a Christian, we get to do this every single day. We get to announce to people that there is a party right here, and the party is for them. You see, Jesus tells his followers, says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they can see your good deeds and not glorify you. But they can see your good deeds and glorify your Father who's in heaven." You see, God created us in a way that we get to say surprise to people. This party, this life, this good news of Jesus, this is for you. God's goodness, God's joy, it's for you. It is your party. We get to light the way to Jesus for others. How much fun is that?